What's up YouTube, my name is Nathan and I have for you an Pokemon XY Wi-Fi battle. Today we will have a mixed tier battle and I will be bringing my Gastrodon, Machamp, Sylveon, Rhyperior, Infernape, and Ninetales, while he's going to be having his Porygon 2, Scrafty, Gliscor, Heliolisk, Leafeon, and what's the last thing called? A Victini. Now, the two biggest threats for me on his team are going to be definitely his Gliscor and his Victini. Everything else I can definitely hit pretty hard. Obviously the Victini is most likely going to be a Choice Scarf of some variant, and that Gliscor will obviously have his Toxic Orb recovery. So, knowing this, let's go ahead and get into the battle. Now I'm going to be leading off this battle with my Gastrodon, expecting him to bring out his Victini, which I do correctly guess or predict. So knowing that he can't do much to me, he's gonna go for the U-turn, and actually I still eat that up pretty well. So he goes out into his Scrafty. Not sure what he was predicting, but I decided to go for the Toxic, predicting a switch for sure. And I was correct about the switch. I wish instead here I would have gone for the Scald, because that would have hit almost everything except for his Heliolisk, assuming it was Dry Skin. Now that he has a his Scrafty has his Poison, I'm going to go ahead and switch out into my Sylveon, predicting some fighting or dark move, namely the Drain Punch, but he makes a good prediction and goes for the Poison Jab. Unfortunately for him, my Sylveon is actually a lot more bulky than he expected, and I took that very well. So now, I decided to go here for the Wish, so that way I can try and recover off as much of the damage as I can. But he brings in his Porygon 2, which is not going to be really good for him, considering that I do have the Toxic, and since Porygon 2s do not usually carry lefties, they usually carry the Violet. He's going to be taking steady damage every turn without any recovery, unless he goes for the actual cover attack. Now I decided to go into my Machamp, knowing that I can kill his Porygon 2 in one shot, even with a Dynamic Punch, but he makes a good prediction again and goes into his Victini. Now, knowing that I don't really want anything to take a Zen Head, but I decided to go ahead and sack my my Machamp, going down 5-6 early, but it's not a huge deal, because I do have other Pokemon to take care of this Victini as well as his Scrafty. So, I go into my Rhyperior, forcing him to switch out into his Gliscor. Now, I should have predicted that and moved into my Gastrodon right there, but I mean, it's okay, he still took some damage, no big deal. So now I go into my Infernape. I do not know why I went to my Infernape, because he could have easily just went for an Earthquake just to kill my Infernape or to get some damage off on my Rhyperior. Now he's behind a stub. I don't really want to go for my Overheat since I am a Mixtier, so I decided to go into my Gastrodon, knowing that he's not going to be able to do much to me with an Earthquake or even a Toxic. So I do indeed bring my Gastrodon. He eats up the Earthquake very well. I don't think he takes more than a quarter, and now he goes for a Toxic. Unfortunate for him, he misses, but I do get the Scald off, and and I'm able to break his sub. Now I get a little bit lefty recovery while he gets his Toxic Orb recovery, Poison Heal, excuse me. And now he knows he can't really do much to me, even if he were to get the Poison off, so he decides to go and switch into his Leafeon to take the Scald. But I do indeed get the Burn, which is going to be really bad for him, because Leafeons are typically physically offensive. Now, since I know that my Gastrodon can't really do much to his Leafeon, I decided to go ahead and switch into my Ninetales. So I get my Drought up. And unfortunate for him, he actually goes for his own Sunny Day, which is kind of redundant because I already brought my Drought. Now, knowing that he is basically going to die, he just goes for the Latch's Quick Attack, which actually breaks my Sash, which is not going to be all that good for me in the end, but I mean, what can you do? Now he switches into his Gliscor, knowing that, well, I guess he assumed that he would be able to take a Flamethrower. I'm not sure, and I'm not sure what the calcs were for a Sun Boosted Timid Flamethrower against his Gliscor, but he does indeed take it with less than a quarter, and now he recovers a little bit of it with his Poison Heal. So I bring my Infernape, try and go for the overheat again. Unfortunately, he does not. No, excuse me, I go for the close combat, predicting switch, predicting he would predict my overheat. But he goes for the protect instead, which was a really good play on his part. Now he goes into his Victini to avoid the overheat, but with a Life Orb Sun boosted overheat on a Victini, it's gonna do apparently more than half, which I was not expecting. That was way more damage than what I thought. So I just go on my Rhyperior, predicting the Zen Headbutt, but I avoid it, which is good for me. Shouldn't have done too much damage, even though I'm not the most physically invested, but obviously no big deal anymore. So he switches out into his Bonnie, his was it Scrafty, predicting my Stone Edge, because I did not want to go for the Earthquake for. I don't know why I didn't go for that. Oh, because I was predicting his Gliscor to come in. So anyway, he does switch into his Scrafty, and now I decided to switch out into my Infernape, knowing that I could take whatever attack he wanted, even if it was high jump kick. Or, well, actually, I was predicting the Drain Punch because I'd already seen him use it. So, switching to my Infernape. Now, knowing I can basically get any free attack, I decided to go for the close combat, and I do get the hit off on his Porygon too, which is very good for me, getting that thing out of the way. One of this more threatening walls. Now he switches into his Heliolisk, and I'm predicting that he's Scarf because that's the only reason he would switch it in. So I decided to go into my Gastrodon, knowing that neither his Surf nor his Electric attack are going to do anything. So I get the Storm Drain boost, and he switches into Bonnie again. So I know that my Scald won't do anything, so I decided to go for the Infestation to try and trap him, but unfortunately he already makes a switch out into his Bonnie, which is not a huge deal because once again I am physically defensive, so I will be taking his attacks very well, no matter what they are. So he's going to be taking his Toxic and Infestation damage. So he does go for the Drain Punch. Once again, doesn't do much, so he gets a little bit of recovery from his Drain Punch, but still not enough to counteract the Scald plus the Toxic plus the Infestation damage. And I do get a little bit more Lefty's recovery, and he will be, once again, taking continuous damage, so next turn he will most definitely die. So here if I go for the Recover, and for whatever reason, not really quite sure why, he goes for the Dragon Tail. So I guess it's just so that way he was hoping that. I don't really know why he went for the Dragon Tail, but doesn't matter. Point is he dies, and he brings out my Sylveon. Now he knows that he can safely bring his Victini, go for whatever attack he wants. In this case, he decides to go to Recreate, which is probably his only option against my Victini, considering I could switch something else in. But unfortunately for him, the Scarf is not going to be enough to be able to help him to outspeed my Infernape, so a close combat will obviously kill him with especially when he has -2 defense. So down goes the Victini, and and in comes the Gliscor. Now I keep on trying to go for freaking overheats, but he keeps on trying to fucking protect. Pretty damn annoying, but I am actually finally able to get off an overheat onto this Gliscor. I got a critical hit, I already did the calcs, it does not matter. So his Gliscor goes down finally, after all this time. Now he brings out his Electric Drago, his Heliolisk. He goes for the Dark Pulse, and I was correct in assuming that he was Scarfed. Or actually, maybe not, because it could have been a Speak Type. It doesn't matter, I get to go into my Rhyperior. And my Rhyperior, since I am especially defensive with actually an Assault Vest, I'm definitely going to take Dark Pulse, no big deal, and finish him off with an Earthquake. So, good game, Jordan. So I hope you guys like this video. Please do give me a thumbs up if you really like, and do subscribe if you do feel that my content has promise. So catch you guys later, and see you guys next time.